Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Living World of Darkness, Mage Across New York. And we find ourselves today in the office, in Nauska's office in the Iliad Capital Management. And, I'm just posting the link, sorry, in there. Yeah, in Iliad Capital Management, where she is slumped over her desk and her computer sort of passed out. There's obscure internet forums open on her computer in front of her and her phone lighting up. And Nauska's going to be woken up when her phone by the thump of her phone falling on the floor as it vibrates off the desk.
Yeah, Nausicaa wakes up and immediately kind of covers her eyes as she's got 8 computer screens blaring their light in her face. She looks around slightly disorientated for a moment, sees the phone ringing on the floor. She checked the time.
It's about 4 a.m. 13 missed calls. The number is home.
She blinks and looks at it and reaches down and answers it. Home as in her parents' home?
Her parents' home, whatever that is in her in her phone.
Yep.
In fact, actually no, it'll be mum mobile. Or mum cell.
And she'll answer it. Mom?
Oh God, Theo, thank God.
What's the matter? Are you okay?
It's your father. He's in the hospital. You have to come home right now. He's in the hospital.
Okay, sure. Back in Philly?
Yeah. Just come here, and she'll give you the hospital. I don't know the hospitals. She'll give you a hospital. I don't want to tell you over the phone. Just come here. I don't know what to do. Just please, I need you right here. Just come home, Theo.
Sure. Yeah, she will say a quick "I love you, Mum. Sorry, I haven't talked in a while." And she will leave her office and will book a private helicopter to Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She'll be panicking and a bit scared, and she'll tell the office manager that
the office manager's not there. The office, when Nauska steps out of her office, it is empty. I get at the hedge fund, people work the small hours. There's a few people in the streets, but there's no one in the office.
I didn't really expect there to be anyone in the office, but I more meant, sorry, the building manager downstairs.
He's not there for whatever reason.
Okay.
He's genuinely not there.
Sure, she looks a bit kind of weirded out by that, but locks up. She knows Arthur has a key.
Yeah.
And we'll jump in an Uber or taxi to JFK.
Okay.
Can I make a wits?
Nope.
Nope. No roll.
Nope. What you can see is, as you're walking through the office, maybe it's sort of the police blaring down the street. She can see the distorted shadows on the wall being cast by the various different night lights of New York City. But no roll.
Sure, no roll. If I'm going along with it, I'm going along with it. And on the way there, she texts Mum, says she'll be there super soon, and she's really tell Dad I love him. And she will get there as fast as possible. Booking a helicopter to Philly, I think, isn't even that expensive. I think it's like $4 or $5 grand.
Yeah,
which is easily within my budget.
Mm-hmm.
So she will do that.
Yeah,
it'll take a few hours.
No, absolutely. Yeah, you go in. There's sort of one person on the helicopter desk. Given the hour, you do have to wait a bit of time for the helicopter to turn up.
This is fine. She'll go as fast as she possibly can.
Yep. Yeah, you're faced with in the face of the tired minimum wage employee who doesn't want to work the night shift. You've managed to successfully get the helicopter to Philadelphia, to as close to the hospital as possible, where you can easily just get a taxi from the airport to the hospital. In the early morning, the shadows start to shrink and die away in the face of the dawn light. The statue of William Penn, ever present at seemingly every angle. It's a bit strange. Did you get to the hospital?
Was she told the ward?
Yeah, you'll have been told the ward. Yeah, you've been told the ward.
Sure. So she goes upstairs.
Madam visiting. You'll get stopped by a porter or something and says, "Ma'am, visiting hours are sort of 10 until 4."
I've been told to come here. It's an emergency. It's my father.
Where is your
He's in
father?
room. What? He's in room such and such.
Oh, in intensive care. You need to get the blue badge. Can I just have your name and?
Nausicaa pauses for a moment. Nausicaa Alexios.
Okay, that's fine. And he just fills out a really short basic form, and gives you this little blue tag.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, so just follow the blue line through the hospital up to the left, just and along. There's the stairs, but you can take the lift up there.
And yeah, she will go.
Okay, and she is. I don't know how sort of tactile Nausicaa's family was when she was younger, but she is almost rugby tackle hugged by her mother as she walks through the door.
Her family are actually very affectionate, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nausicaa. Yeah, we'll kind of like hug her mum back. All of the defensiveness and barriers she puts up seem to be kind of much less around her mother, and she hugs her and says, "Where's Dad? What happened?"
He collapsed. He's just been diagnosed. He's got. I was saying it's stage 4 pancreatic cancer. I don't know what that means, but apparently there's not a lot of time. And they were saying there was all this stuff. Look, you're clever. I need you to explain what's going on. And I don't understand. The doctor, he kept telling me all these numbers and percentages, and I don't know what to do, Theo. I please help.
Call the doctor and I'll speak to him.
Okay.
Whatever the costs are, it doesn't matter. They can be covered.
Okay. There's this.
I want to see Dad though.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll come through. And you're taken through to the intensive care unit of the hospital, where every single person is hooked up to sort of 3 different machines. There's nurses and doctors just swarming about, outnumbering the patients. And your mother, Nausicaa's mother, leads her towards a figure in a bed who is so grey and so emaciated, to be almost unrecognizable to Nausicaa. He's got his breathing apparatus on, covered in machines, IV hooked up, but if Nausicaa wasn't told this was her father, she'd have walked past the bed without looking at him twice.
Nausicaa almost certainly gasps and will tear up and run over to her father and grab his hand.
It's cold and clammy.
Daddy, I'm here, it's Theo.
He turns at you and blinks. There's no real look of recognition in his eyes. It's quite vacant. There's, near the bed, there are two figures. Two individuals as well near the bed. One is a bearded man in long black robes, black hat with a jeweled crucifix. An Orthodox priest.
Yeah.
Who is going around to the generally, but then comes by Nausicaa's father's bed and starts to pray quite quietly in what you'll recognize as, well, in fact, of course you'll recognize as Greek. And then there's the doctor, also a sort of serious-looking bearded man. Miss Alexios?
Yeah.
It's good you've come. Your mother said that she's devolved the decision-making in this to you. And he gives a scowl at the priest. If I may speak with you for a moment.
Yeah, sure. And Nausicaa kind of steps away.
So
on his hand before leaving.
Her father gasps a little bit and turns to look towards the priest and starts murmuring in what you may vaguely attempt to be a Greek prayer. You're not 100% sure.
Nausicaa, steels herself and turns to the doctor.
I'm afraid it's very bad news. There may have been issues with your father that he wasn't passing on. He collapsed in the street and was brought to hospital. And when we examined him, we found his cancer. We believe it started in the pancreas, but it has now spread to his lungs, his liver, bowel, brain. There's not a lot of time left, I'm afraid.
How long?
Weeks, maybe. There's some treatments. They're fairly new, some cutting edge stuff. If we take him to the specialist unit, the sort of 6-month survival rate, it's edging towards 20% now. It might give you a bit more time.
Whatever my father's health insurance situation is, I will pay for it.
These are not cheap treatments, Miss Alexios.
I'm a rich woman. I'll build you a new wing if you save my father's life. Slightly,
It's at this situation, Miss Alexios, saving someone's life is a very relative term. As I say, we're dealing in 6 months and 1 year. The 10-year survival rate is singular, not percentage-wise. Singular.
She swallows and kind of looks back at her father. Whatever it takes. Explain to me the situation, though.
And he will proceed. Sorry.
Just what is this new treatment?
He will explain some highly aggressive chemotherapy treatment that, frankly, I don't understand as an ST. It'll involve radiation and chemicals, and he'll explain very much that you need to sign a waiver as your father's designated as your having your father's power of attorney that'll have to be countersigned by his mother, as this is not a fully licensed treatment. This is strictly a research treatment at this point. It's not sort of rolled out for the general public.
And if he doesn't take this treatment, what'll happen? What'll his quality of life be?
He will die in that bed there. At which point, the priest is shuffled over to you. No. This is... Please, just... I have a place I can take. I have cured many people. Hundreds of people.
Nausicaa,
Young lady, I can make your father better.
Who are you?
My name is Father Constantios. I am a priest of the Greek ministry. In fact, sorry, the ministry of
Orthodox Church.
Orthodox Church. Father has been praying with me.
Nausicaa's instincts are to, although she would never admit it to her mother, she is a scientist and an atheist. And her instincts are to dismiss this man, this charlatan, this person that does things that clearly are bullshit.
Prayer has cured many people, Miss Alexios. I have a place of healing, of spirituality. Let me take your father there, and if his faith is strong, he will be healed. Just at which point the doctor's security... I'm terribly sorry, Miss Alexios. He is the hospital's chaplain, however, so we can't eject him from the building, but...
I don't want him ejected from the building. Part of Nausicaa, like I said, just wants to dismiss this charlatan, this fraud, this person that is imposing his own ego and status upon the situation with her father. However, her mind races to one of the first things she's been thinking about on the flight if her father is ill, is she's pretty sure she knows somebody that can heal her father back at the Chantry. Whether they will be willing to or not is a different thing. However, Nausicaa is also aware that their way of healing would also be something she would consider bullshit. I would like to speak to the priest. Alone, doctor. Thank you. I'm sure you have many things to do. I'll find you later.
He rolls his eyes. Very well. He fades into the shadows.
She turns to the priest.
Yep.
Explain to me what you would do to my father to heal him.
Your father has not attended a service for many years. He must undergo another baptism. And it is through his own prayer, his own faith, his own belief in God's power and the Savior and our Savior, that will cleanse his body from this evil that has taken hold of him.
You're talking about a miracle.
Yes. But miracles happen every day. Miss Alexios, I have cured hundreds of people.
Nausicaa is going to
prayer cures millions every day. And the doctors can't tell you about that because they don't want to believe it. But it's I tell you, prayer has helped more people in this hospital than anything else.
Oscar just straight up doesn't believe that, and she is going to try to use. She's going to analyze the kind of validity of his words, and to assess if there is he's being duplicitous and lying.
You do not have to roll. He genuinely believes what he is saying.
Okay. She looks back at her dad. How long would it take?
A couple of weeks. Maybe a month. But is that any worse than him spending that time wired up to machines and with doctors pouring chemicals into him and lying on surgical tables?
Doctors have proven results. There are reams of science supporting.
Science, I have people who can tell you how I have helped them. Just look on my website.
Nausicaa raises her eye. She's not going to check his website. She is, yeah, she is likely well aware.
Instagram page.
She is very aware of the sort of people who, yeah, the sort of person that would offer fake healing to people is not the sort of person that would feel bad about having patsies post false reviews. The only thing stopping her, so just completely ignoring this man, is the fact that she's seen firsthand. Yeah, she's seen firsthand people do this sort of thing. And although in the chantry it kind of becomes normalized, it's a strange feeling to see this in such a mundane way out in the real world. Mm-hmm. She just looks at the man. And she is going to say... Robbie has had a mind like, what are the rules of the mages called?
No, the protocols are the rules of the technocrats. I don't remember.
I think it is the protocols.
Is it?
Give me 1 sec.
I'm just looking it open. Yeah, it's the protocols.
Cock her head slightly. Do you know the 8th protocol?
He looks at you blankly.
Again, she's going to try and assess the truth.
Do not roll. There will be no dice in this scene.
Okie pokey.
He genuinely is confused by what you're saying.
Okay.
The 8th protocol of what?
It's a song. It doesn't matter. Sorry, I'm tired.
I understand. But there is not a lot of time to make this decision, Mr. Lexios.
She'll actually try and see if she can get the doctor's attention to bring him back.
And the doctor will melt out of the shadows.
I would like my mother involved in this decision as well.
I understand completely.
Could you send one of the orderlies to fetch her, please? I think she's out in the hall.
Certainly. And yeah, he instructs one of the orderlies to bring in your mother. You hadn't noticed how much the makeup that she'd clearly been wearing the day before is just, she's not even taken it off and it's just streaked down her face. Just heavy black lines running from her eyes.
She takes a moment with her mother. I'm sorry I haven't been back to visit. I've been busy and things have been difficult in New York.
I understand. I'm proud of everything you're doing, Theo. And I know your father is too. He always talked about you. It was the first thing he'd talk about wherever we went was how proud we were of you.
Did you get the money I sent?
Yeah. Yeah. Your father was talking. He wanted to build a fire pit in the garden in the patio.
That sounds like Daddy. Mother, there's a good chance that Father is very ill, and he may not have long to live.
And she starts visibly tearing up again at that.
The doctors say we could gain access to a special treatment, advanced chemotherapy. It would be likely very painful for him. And likely the chances of him living, the doctor has said around 20%. Although, by living, it would increase his lifespan by a year at most.
Do you think that's best? I don't understand all this.
There's a priest here who says he can heal Father.
Do you believe him?
She opens her mouth to say no, and it just catches in her throat. I don't know.
I don't know what to do, Theo. This is why I need you. I need you to make this decision.
Also looks a little bit kind of pained and. Do you think Daddy would want to be?
Daddy trusts you.
Yeah, Nausicaa's just so unsure. Everything she knows is telling her that. Well, I mean, the special treatment sounds awful. It doesn't sound very likely, but it sounds like something. And it certainly doesn't sound like, yeah, the fucking priest offering divine healing. But again, she knows somebody that can. She knows there's a giant bearded Russian man who, if she brings her, she's almost certain could help her father. And she's gonna bring her mother back to the two doctors, the priest and the doctor.
Yep.
This is my mother. She said that she wants me to make the decision on my father. Explain to me again, doctor, this treatment. What are his chances, and what are the best possible results?
As I say, this is something we have proven around, say. Currently, if you want to know the specifics, it's an 18.7 6-month survival rate.
Based on how many subjects?
1,000.
Nausicaa squints. Exactly 1,000?
About a rough number.
Okay.
More undergo it every day, but reasonable numbers. At the year, this goes to around 9.4. And we've had, as I say, 3 subjects survive for the full length of the trial. Some of the early ones. We're hoping for a big uptick in 10-year survival rates, but on long-term survival rates, but this trial has not been going on for very long.
And what's the best case scenario?
He's one of those three. You know, I mean, your father's not a young man. You know this. We're optimistic that this could, with future support, potentially lead to long-term survival. We need more uptake for the FDA to permit further testing on the further stages of this. But we're hoping it could potentially lead to people being in late-stage cancer, either having symptoms that become controlled with ongoing treatment, or maybe even being declared cancer-free. But I don't wish to get your hopes up. Let me clarify at this point, this is a salvage treatment, Miss Alexios.
Will it be painful?
Medical treatments at this stage are rarely pleasant. In fact, never pleasant.
She nods, and she'll turn to the priest. Mother, this man says that if he takes Father, he can cure him.
Okay.
Is that right? And she'd use whatever. I don't know what the honorific for an Orthodox priest is.
Neither do I.
But yeah, Father or whatever. Is that right, Father?
Yes. If his faith is strong.
Yeah, Nausicaa's torn. She really doesn't know what to do. The idea that her father could just be healed by this guy is so appealing, but just goes against so much of what she believes. But then as soon as she says that, again, she reminds herself that so much of what she's seen recently goes against so much of what she believes, and that she has had to change the goalposts of her own beliefs to account for so many things, and she hates to admit it, but faith healing doesn't seem that outlandish when you've seen someone turn into a crow. However, she's quite sure this person isn't a tradition mage. But she's also not quite sure that that really matters.
Everyone's looking at Nausicaa.
I need a moment to think. I'm going to go get a coffee and I'll come back, okay?
Okay. You can head out into the main precincts of the hospital. The time it took you to get to Philadelphia, there's a few more people now. It's probably heading towards 8 o'clock in the morning at this point.
Yeah, she goes to the machine and gets a coffee and just thinks. Takes a moment to just kind of stand by a window, drink the coffee. She wishes there was more caffeine in it. She wishes it wasn't so bitter. She goes and puts some more sugar in it.
Yeah. The One of the sort of little greeting card shop at the entrance, the news agents at the front of the hospital has opened up. It sells energy drinks if Nausica wants one.
No, for some reason I think she's gonna. I think, yeah, bitterness seems like an appropriate taste right now. And yeah, she'll drink it and think. And yeah, she'll think about all the things she's seen, all the things that have become commonplace in her life since she last saw her parents. She'll think about she'll think about last time she was in a hospital, actually. And she'll think about the people that would put their undying faith into science in the way that she always has, and seem to be very uncompromising from what she understands of the Technocratic Union, of outside beliefs, in the way that she probably once would have been, not in a kind of crusadery way like they seem to be, but in a kind of just like, this is the de facto way.
Yeah.
And then she will think about the people she knows, the things she's seen, and yeah, and she will think about her dad, and she will think that
When you think about your dad, I mean, when you think about the people, you think about Arvo and Elijah and Caleb and even Julie. When you think about your dad, the memory is obviously not of the man originally in the hospital bed. It's of you sort of dancing with him awkwardly at your cousin's wedding when you were 11. It's of this vague flickers of single images of him carrying you on his shoulders through a field of cows when you were freaked out because one of them made a big noise in Nausica's face.
she doesn't like cow since.
The time when she ran home crying from school because everyone was laughing at her in the cafeteria, and he called you sport and gave you a hug and pretended to be interesting as Nausicaa talked about physics for the next hour.
Yeah. She thinks that if she goes with she thinks about how weak her father looks, and she thinks about if she goes with the hospital and the program, the chance of him living a bit longer like that seems more cruel than savior, and the chance of her, 0.3% chance of him having any kind of long-term life. And yeah, although it's an appealing idea that you're the lucky one being a statistician, she knows that in there lies hubris. And yeah, she wrestles with the idea, but I think she essentially thinks that, she's already put aside of so much of what she believed and so much the things she thought she knew. Can't she put aside that again for her dad to give him? Yeah, and for some reason she thinks that, like, for some reason the 1 in a million chance that she thinks might happen if he goes to the Faith Healer seems like, for some reason, more likely than the 0.3% chance of going to the of going with the program, of getting essentially a result that she would find acceptable.
Okay.
And yeah, I think she's gonna go back in, and I think she's gonna go to the priest.
He smiles as you approach. You made your decision?
She'll turn to her mother again. If Daddy's ill, and this is a time, then so be it. But I don't want him to suffer in those last times. And if this man believes that he can help us, and he can bring back the daddy I remember, then I want to give him that chance, Mom.
If that's what you think is best, sweetie.
I don't know what's best, Mom. I don't know what's best, but I've taken a lot of chances recently, and I've had to put my faith in things and people that I wouldn't usually have. And, well, things have, by and large, turned out okay. I'd like to do that now.
Okay. And as she says that, the room around Nauska is filled with light. Blinding. Stemming from the various different lights and machines around the room. And Nauska will wake up with Miss Alexios. Miss Alexios.
Yeah, she will kind of
in her office.
Wake up, look around, wide-eyed.
Her PA is there with the Deborah with the large can of energy drink and a breakfast burrito.
What time
the light
is
was
it,
on.
Deborah?
It's 7:30.
She's check her phone.
Yes. 7:30. No messages, no missed calls. Maybe that's one from someone in the chantry who's wondered why you're not at home, but that's up to the players.
Nausicaa looks very disorientated, like somebody who's just even more than somebody who just woke up.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to I didn't mean to disturb you. If you're working late night, it's got the chili sauce and the garlic sauce, isn't? That's what you want. The breakfast burrito, chili sauce, garlic sauce.
Yeah. Thank you, Deborah. Could you bring me some coffee? Dark, lots of sugar.
Certainly, Miss Alexios, right away. And she scamps out of the office.
Mrs. Komnina, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
Mrs. Komnina. Mrs.?
No, Miss. Yeah.
Miss Komnina.
Secret husband.
Certainly, Miss Komnina. Of course, right away. And she scamps out of the office.
Yeah. Nausicaa's going to sit back in her chair, look at everything. Basically go through the records to see if
the sun is raising behind your office and is filled with a beautiful light.
She's going to quickly check if she booked a helicopter last night.
You did not book a helicopter last night.
Okay. She's going to ring her mum.
It rings and hello?
Mom? It's Theo.
Theo, what? Hi. What time is this? You don't call for 4 months, 6 months, and you call at 7 o'clock in the morning. What?
I'm sorry, Mom. Is Dad okay?
He's Well, so I don't know if you read the email, but you know he went on that golf trip at the weekend. Came back hungover. You would not believe how much he smelled. He was just fell asleep on the sofa. God. Thing is, he was going to prune the apple tree this morning. Like, he's not going to be in the fit state to do that or really anything. You know what he's like.
Nausicaa has the hugest smile on her face. She's probably got, tears in her eyes.
Anyway, what's something wrong? Is the reason you're calling me?
I just had a bad dream. I'd like to talk to you about it if it's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Not over the phone.
If you want.
How would you and Daddy like a holiday in New York?
Okay, I'll talk to him about it when he wakes up.
Sure. I love you, Mom. Tell Dad I love him.
Yeah, I love you too, sweetie.
Also, you guys should go to church.
What? Okay, if you say so. Click.
And Nausicaa will wait for her black, dark, bitter coffee that she's not quite sure she likes the taste of.
No, it comes. It is midnight black. Deborah, unsure, has put the amount of sugar in until it stopped dissolving. So it's just that started to congeal at the bottom of the cup.
She's very fine with this. She'll thank Deborah, and she'll actually quickly write a few notes that if she could give it to the brokers as they come in. She believes the energy sector is going to be bull. Short, new tech startup in California that's just been refused trading approval, blah, blah, blah. So just certain things.
Yeah.
I don't want to be disturbed until midday, okay?
Yes, Mr. Cumnor.
Thank you. And she'll shut the door and close the. She usually keeps the blinds on her kind of inner walls shut. But she will, make sure they're shut, make sure her door's locked. And she will drink the bitter coffee.
It's disgusting. I mean,
she's going to drink it.
Yeah, that's fine. But I probably Nausicaa's regretting only investing in like kind of the instant. I mean, it's a high-end instant coffee machine in the cafeteria, but not like.
Nausicaa almost certainly doesn't know like the difference. Like you could have fed her like Italian roasted beans, and she wouldn't have. Yeah, but
okay. She'll have picked it purely on the basis of price tag. Then I'm assuming, but still instant coffee.
She will almost certainly had Ava choose it, but she will sit there and she will kind of look out of the sunrise over New York, and she's just going to do that for a while before turning around and letting the butterflies out in the room, and then putting her seat into full recline and taking a power nap.
Okay. She fall asleep in the light of your new enlightenment.
Actually, the first thing she's going to do is just for a moment turn the computer off.
Okay.
Probably the first time it's been off since you got started up.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And with that, we will end the scene. Thank you very much, player for player, and thank you any watchers for watching, and goodbye.